What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Dragon Age 4. Obviously, this was a big thing that happened yesterday, but I had, kind of the videos of yesterday sorted out. Thought I'd give it to you guys today. Firstly, let me just say to at least the people celebrating Thanksgiving today, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome day. Get some Black Friday deals as well. Let me know what you guys are getting, in the comments and all that, and just enjoy the day. I won't take too much of your time here, but I do want to talk about Dragon Age 4 and its creative director leaving. Now, this guy has been part of the studio in and out. I think they said since like 1998 is when he first joined. He jumped around. He was part of the first, I believe, 2 Dragon Age games. He actually helped on the Halo Wars games, and then obviously he came back, and he was the creative director of Dragon Age 4, which I believe he stepped in after the decision was made to gut what they had of it, right? Because remember, Dragon Age 4 was originally going to be just like a multiplayer game. Remember, this was when EA, and now you could argue they still are off the deep end with some things, Battlefield, sports games, but I would say other than those, they've actually kind of had like a redemption story recently over the last like 2 or 3 years. This was in the age of they just had no idea what they were doing. They were making bad decisions. Honestly, it seemed like just to make them, just because they felt like it. And Dragon Age, the idea was going to basically just be almost a live service-y multiplayer thing, not even a story, like a heavy single-player story kind of attachment. And that was gutted. They made the decision, no, we're going to do like an actual Dragon Age game, and we'll do the story, and we'll do all that stuff. And I believe this is when he came in. So, I don't want to wish the worst. I'm not. That's actually, I don't even know why I said it like that. I don't wish anything bad on this game. I truly hope and pray this game is good. This is really, when I talk about a redemption story for EA, this is a game that needs to hit for them to be redeemed. You know what I mean? The Dead Space remake needs to be really good. The next Mass Effect game needs to be really good. This Dragon Age game, Jedi Fallen Order 2, right? If that's better than the first game, I mean, that's incredible, right? So if you can have these games just hit. Sure, you have dice that, that you're rushing or you're doing God knows what with dice. The sports games, I mean, they release yearly, so you're just making like billions of dollars off them. That stuff aside, that's a different issue that you have to address, I guess, separately. I want this game to succeed. And, losing the creative director, obviously, in the way that any company would, they make it sound like it's no big deal, right? They mutually parted ways, okay? And they haven't named a successor, but they did say, like, his work is just going to be passed on to the team, and it's in great hands. Again, it's like the classic things you hear when anybody has been fired or quits or leaves or whatever, right? They say, it's not good. Like, the game's not going to be canceled. The game isn't set back like 40 years now. Like, we have a team behind him that can step up. And I mean, it's cliche, but I guess it is probably right. You know what I mean? That's what we hope, right? That's at least what I hope, that what they're saying, just like what any company would normally say under this circumstance, is true. Hopefully they were like grooming somebody else to like take over, or he has like an assistant creative lead, or like a second creative lead, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's somebody right underneath him that can take over. I don't want it to be set back too far. I would honestly even say too, what does worry me though is we're not at the end of the game yet. We're not at the end of like the cycle yet. Like, if you lose leads, games lose leads all the time, right? Look at game studios and what they're hiring, and there's always leads most likely available, even throughout the process, which probably that part is a negative. But when you get to like the end of a game release, or like a cycle, right? And you get to the end and the game releases, there is a lot of turnover in the gaming industry. A lot of people leave and a lot of new people come in. So, like, if you lose somebody closer to, or if you lose like some of the writers, but you lose them right at like a couple months before the game comes out, well, maybe that's a negative thing, because maybe it's like, well, maybe you should have fired them earlier. But generally, it's like, well, maybe it's not the biggest deal because you don't need them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something you need to focus on these last 2 months before the game comes out. Maybe the game is done and they're just moving on, right? It could be a ton of different reasons. But when you lose the creative, lead of your game, and the game's not out yet, and the game, it's not like it's coming out like in February. You know what I mean? So like, it's still got a while to go. I believe what Jeff Grubb had said before, and we've talked about this, the idea is that Dragon Age 4 would release in 2023. So we have at least like a year and a half, I'd say, at the least, maybe a year and a quarter, year and a half to 2 years until Dragon Age 4 comes out. That's a lot of time for a lot of decisions to still be made on it, right? Final decisions. And when you don't have that guy, you know what I mean, like that. So, maybe there's somebody better than him that steps up, or a group of people that are better than him. But, at the end of the day, at least for right now, right, you don't have this person. And also, why did they part? That's another. So, like, you could look at it in the future, right? There's still maybe 2 more years of development. You don't have this guy who's going to make these decisions. And a lot of these things are, we don't know for sure. But then you could look at it, like, I guess, retrospectively, right? You can look at it backwards and say, well, why did he leave? Why did they I guess mutually part ways? So maybe like his contract was up and like they didn't want to renew it and he didn't want to be there it has to be something like they didn't want him anymore and he didn't want to be there anymore, right? That's as nice as you probably want to make it look, that's got to be how it is. That's in some way. And it's like, well, what has he been doing for the last, again, like everything that they've said has been very positive. I've liked it, right? They've made, now, again, though, I guess the only thing that I've liked is the fact that they are doing a more classic Dragon Age thing and they dumped the idea of this multiplayer, but that doesn't mean that this single player thing is a phenomenal thing, right? We flat out don't know. We haven't seen anything. We haven't even gotten to the part where they show the actual, we have seen, I guess the game, but not really, right? Like we haven't even seen a trailer for the game yet, an actual trailer, gameplay, quests. We haven't seen any of that stuff yet, and this guy's not here anymore. So what has happened? What is going to happen definitely could be an issue, and maybe does it push the game back? It could. It also, I would say, easily couldn't as well. But what led to this? Has it not been the greatest 2 to 3 years? And if so, that's not good. Again, this is a game that EA needs to hit. It needs to work, because if this doesn't work, I just feel like you have momentum right now as EA as a publisher, right? And then you start dropping the balls here, and suddenly people don't trust you anymore. I don't know how many people trust them with Dragon Age anyway, but you don't want to lose any trust that you have. And so Dragon Age 4 is definitely important. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have the bell icon turned on. I do a brand new video on the channel every single day. There will be a video tomorrow. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the Black Friday sales if you didn't already do it like 3 weeks ago when they started. And I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.